Hello, good evening. I'm Oral Gibbes, and welcome to Oral Gibbes Live, coming to you live here from World Star Studios at Amsterdam Shopping Center. And this evening, I have some very interesting guests. But before I go to the guests, I'd like to just remind you that tonight, the 1st of March, 1984, that's a long time ago, when I first started my first television program here on St. Martin. It's been a long time. So we enter for the third season with Speaking of Everything. And on Thursday evening, you'll get to see this program celebrate its 27th year. But anyway, this evening with us, we have some very interesting guests. For the first time, we have Mrs. Steeman. Mrs. Steeman is a member of the Choose C Foundation, right? And we also have Mr. Roger Fuyong, right?
Fong.
Fong. And is also a member of the same organization. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, both of you are here this evening to speak about what's going to happen this coming Saturday for the annual Lions Health Fair, right?
That's correct.
So we're going to start first with Mrs. Steeman.
Yes, I'm very excited. This year we're going to have a lot more features for this fair.
It's the first time for you taking part?
No, this is the second time. Last time I was there last year.
Okay. So you're looking forward to huge crowds this year?
Oh, I think so. Last time I was already quite occupied. Wow, it was tiresome for me too.
All right. And you were there last year too? Or?
Oh yes, last year was the first time that Suchi had introduced the Thai foot massage, and we did like over almost 70 foot massages to the public. So, and this year we have some new features that we would make our booth much more, and the fair much more interesting.
Well, before we get into what all you're going to be doing on Saturday at the Lions Health and Wellness Fair, tell us about the Suchi Foundation, what it's all about, so my audience can understand more about the foundation.
Well, Suchi Foundation, it started off in Taiwan in 1966. Actually, this is the 50th anniversary of the Suchi Foundation, and it is in over 60 countries worldwide. Our mission is, we are in charity, education, medicine, and humanitarian relief. Suchi, the meaning of Suchi is basically compassionate relief. So this is where we are here to interact with the various communities in giving them not only relief, but showing our compassion, sharing with them. This is the dogma of Suchi, to share.
Suchi is a big organization. You will see that they will say it's a Buddhist foundation. Actually, it's not really a Buddhist itself, but the teaching is from Buddhism. The members, you don't have to be you don't have to be a Buddhist before to become a member. They are actually, Suchi embraces all religions. That means whether you're Catholic, Islam, hopefully, or any religions, you can join us. The main mission is charity. You help, and when you help, it's come out from your heart, and you're helping people who are in need of help. So one of the reasons why I joined it also is because of the mission that they have. You know, like there are 4 missions, right, Roger?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell us about the 4 missions?
Yeah, emphasize it again. It's charity, medicine, education, and humanitarian work. And what is interesting about volunteerism is in Suchi, we emphasize it a lot. You know, it's a question of giving and receiving. And the question is always, which would you rather be, the giver or the receiver? And as Suchi volunteers, we know that when we do our work, the reward is so much more when you are giving.
Right.
When you're giving, you receive happiness.
Better,
It's actually when you're giving, you're also receiving. If you can give, that means you are capable of doing it. You know, if you're receiving something, that means it happens to be that either you are in need or, you know, somebody is helping you in a sense, apart from the family, they're giving you a gift,
right.
you know. One of the main reasons why I found Chu Chi is interesting, it's about the recycling. You know, we're talking about humanitarian. There are so many problems in the world right now with all this environment. When the French side start to have the the recycle bins.
Yeah.
I already started a long time ago. Once it started, every time people see me have a back trunk with bottles and cans, they said to me, "What are you doing with them?" I said, "No, I'm taking it to the French side for recycle." And I'm so happy that we have our own recycling bins here now. And we have one thing I learned from Chu Chi about this recycling is that. Have you ever heard about recycling enzyme? Recycling garbage?
Right.
Have you ever heard about that?
Right, I heard about it.
Yes, that's what I learned about it last year. And I found it so exciting, because every day we're eating a lot of oranges and, you juice them and you have the orange skin, or you have the vegetables, you cut them, you have all this trash over. And then normally we bag it and we throw it away. But when I learned about this garbage enzyme, it's not just recycling the garbage. You save the environment in many ways. You have less garbage, and this garbage, you call it, we make it into an enzyme. And it is very interesting to me because I got a bottle of enzyme from Sandra. Sandra is the commissioner of the Chu Chi Foundation. She's the commissioner in the St. Martin chapter.
That's Sandra Chen?
Sandra Chung, yeah. She gave me one and I tried it out. She showed me the video once. I said, oh no, I have to do it because every day I'm making juice in the morning. I have all the skin there, we throw it away. So we use the skin and then we make it into the enzyme. My discovery about this enzyme is very interesting that it keeps the mosquitoes away. This is when I told people, they may not believe it. So I give people a little bottle. I said, listen, you tried it. Because when I discovered myself, Sandra didn't even notice that until I told her. And I gave a lot of people, and they said yes, because when I put the enzyme there, the mosquitoes just they flew away like, oh, they are there.
So you have the bottle is open? You leave the bottle
I
open?
open it. Of course, the scent of the enzyme come out. And
Is
I
it
also...
a pleasant smell?
Huh?
Is it a smell?
It smells very nice.
Yeah.
It's some fresh fruit smells in it, but... So I don't use the vegetables. I use the orange because the orange...
That's a nice,
The orange and the grapefruits, they will give a better scent in it. But at the beginning, I used banana skin, like all of that. But now, because of the orange smell, is much better. So I am using only the orange.
And it's a lot cheaper because if you go and buy the same thing that you just mentioned,
Yeah.
it's on the French side. You have to pay almost 20 euros for it, for a small little bottle.
Yeah. So the enzyme, right now, I'm hoping, I was also encouraged Sandra to do that, because of the Zika virus these days, with the mosquito virus. If we are chasing away the mosquito, it really helps,
Yeah.
And then the enzymes are also used for cleaning your bathroom, You don't get into things like in the bleach. That is very toxic, the chemicals. So it's very good for for cleaning,
And also that we use a little bit of the concentrate enzyme, mix it in a bucket of water. If you wipe your floor, the ants will not come into your house. And it has been proven that I gave one bottle to a guy that worked for me in my garden. And I gave him one and I said, look, try this. See if the mosquito come to your house. See if the ants come to your house. And then after a week, I asked him. He said, yes, I don't have any more ants. I don't have any mosquito anymore. He's so excited, also like me, when I started, I was so excited.
So now you all will have to open some bottles on Saturday at the Lions health and wellness fair.
We're going to have some samples there for the people to see what it is actually.
They can smell it, and
smell it,
but it takes a long time to do it, though.
Really?
What they call it?
Well, actually, not really, in the sense that when you put the waste, the citrus skin and all that in the bottle with the water, she will explain to you there, and you have to leave it to sort of ferment for like 3 months, right? But every day we throw away things unconsciously, right? So it's one way of recycling that garbage, just the same way that people who are in gardening, they would make compost,
right?
They would put it in their bin outside to make compost. It's the same way, it's the same principle.
Okay. Very good. But so now on Saturday
there will be a booth that the Chu Chi booth. We're going to explain to you how, as a lot of people still may not know about the Chu Chi Foundation. We will give you a little history about that and give you a video to see what Chu Chi has been doing around the world. And also there is an area where you could see the enzyme, the effect of it. We have a video to show you how good the enzyme could help you. And then there are 2 other booths to do. One of them is the facial, right? To do the facials. Yeah,
the practical side is we will have the same foot massage, the Thai foot massage that the public always come early for. And this year, what we're having 2 different unique products. We're having, for the first time ever, a biophotonic scanner that tells you, it will measure your antioxidant level.
How do they scan the body?
Okay, the technology has been there for over 20 years, and there is a multi-level marketing drug company called Pharmanex. They introduced it in the year 2000. It's called the S1 scanner at the time. And you would put with the palm of your hand, it would scan the palm of your hand, which is the carotenoids of the skin, and determine the antioxidant levels. The problem we have today is in supplementation. If you're taking vitamins or minerals, there's no way we can measure our present status of our body before we take any supplementation. And when we do take any supplementation, there's no way we can measure it thereafter to see whether we're improving or not. So this is like today when you go into a health store and you're looking for a particular vitamin or mineral, you're so confused which one to buy. And if you do decide to whichever one, how do you know it is working for you? There's no measurement system, right? And what is interesting, this device has been there for the last 15 years. And this is the first time we will be introducing this. And at this event, it's a charity event, the Lions Health and Wellness Fair. All the services that all the stakeholders are offering is free. So this is where we're encouraging the public to come in and to get a scan. It will determine. So you will see exactly what is the antioxidant level.
So now when you come on Saturday to the Lions Health and Wellness Fair and you receive the scan, it will tell you whether or not your body needs a particular type of vitamin, etc.?
No, it doesn't tell you what vitamins it need. The score, it is a color spectrum because the device is the Raman spectroscopy. It measures through light. It sends in a beam of blue light into your palm of your hands, and it resonates in there, and it causes a reaction with the light to give you a score that is measured. Now, the score is measured in terms of color because the spectrum of light is measured in color. So it's to start from like a brown to like a orange to yellow, and it goes all up to a blue. So it starts from like 10,000 and then can go right up to over 150,000.
Yeah, there's a representative from New Skin who is coming here to do that performance.
So the thing is that you want to know what is your antioxidant level. And that is key because when we have antioxidant relates to free radicals. And the easiest way is if you cut an apple, you see it start to turn. rusting, you know, and like we have oxygen in us, oxygen causes rusting. So this is where we have to protect our bodies, because when your antioxidant levels is high, you can protect yourself, your immune system, protect yourself from cancer, diseases. We do need oxygen for breathing.
Right.
Right. But at the same time, we have to control the oxygen creates free radicals.
Okay.
In that sense. And we have to protect ourselves by increasing our antioxidant levels.
So this machine will measure your antioxidant levels to see whether or not they're the right levels?
Yes.
Well, whether it's right, it will tell you what is your antioxidant level presently. So then you get an idea, look, am I in a normal state? Or so then I should take
some
supplementation. And because of the supplementation, after you take supplementation, you know, you could say a month from after that, you can go and take a measurement again.
See whether or not
it's improving or not. Because many people are not taking the correct supplementation.
Okay.
So once you can measure, that means to say it relates to science. And that's the key thing. Now you're bringing innovation and science, technology into play.
But you know, I'm thinking here, man, if you measure most people in St. Martin, they're going to require something.
I'll give you an example. You know, all of this is documented on if you go to YouTube and you put S3 scanner, you will see all the documentation. And recently, it was on Dr. Oz, right? And 48% of the audience, he had them wearing different shirts, color T-shirts, and 48% were below normal. And out of curiosity...
Below normal means that you're most likely to get ill?
No, the average measurement would be somewhere in the vicinity around 20,000 in the measurement.
But I mean, if a person is below normal, they're more likely to become ill? Or?
Right. It means that your antioxidant level is below normal, so you need supplementation to raise your level of protection.
Now, that doesn't mean eating a lot and overeating yourself, right? So eating the right kinds of food.
Right food.
Eating the right kind of food.
And the other thing is, even though you're eating the right amount of food, there are certain minerals, for example, that your body doesn't produce. So you need to have additional and the right supplementation in the right dosage and from the right sources. Because there are a lot of companies that are offering products, but they are not processed properly, for example.
No, because personally, I don't believe in buying health supplements. I prefer if you can eat a balanced diet, eat healthy. But a lot of doctors are now saying that that's not really possible today.
No,
exactly. Right, that is right, because the amount, for example, like people talk about carrots. If you had to eat the right amount, you had to eat like a couple of pounds of carrots. You can't possibly do that. Mm-hmm. And there are certain enzymes and certain minerals. We don't have it here.
You see, what happened is these days, the food that we get has been processed.
Right.
Even fruits, everything has chemicals, pesticides, everything is in it. Food, you know, like meat is even worse. And you have vegetables that they spray so much things in it, right? Mm. And one of the things about the enzyme is that if you use it to soak the vegetables in it, it would take away the pesticides from the vegetables.
Let me ask you all this. There's a fruit called manganese. You familiar with that?
Mangosteen.
Fruit? Mangosteen. You familiar with that fruit?
Very, yeah. It's called the queen of fruits.
I see you spell it. I tell you, you know that this is the first year I ever ate that fruit. Was a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
very
today,
expensive.
Yeah, very. And today I had 3 of them again. I love it.
Right.
It's amazing. But then I understood too that up to 2005. We're not allowing that fruit to be imported into America. Now they're allowing it, and it's very difficult to get, and it's very expensive. What's so special about that fruit?
Well, what is interesting, the portion of the fruit that you're eating, which is the white part,
right,
is very tasty and very nice, but
delicious.
The nutrients of the fruit is actually in the part that you're not eating.
You know, you get me. Now I throw in the best part.
Right. Well, for example, the company that is the company that's introducing the scanner, PharmaNex, they have a product called the G3. And one of the main components in that drink is a fruit called the GAC fruit, GAC, right? And that fruit is it will knock out noni and all the other fruits out of the court.
Yeah.
Because that fruit has so much nutrition. And that is one of their main juice product fruit, because they have it in a combination with the GAC fruit and about 3 other components.
So then that fruit I just mentioned is called, what the correct pronunciation?
Mangosteen.
Mangosteen.
Like mango and STWN.
Oh, mangosteen. So now, if I'm eating that fruit, I'm supposed to eat part of the shell too?
No, because it doesn't taste well. It's just like the watermelon. We tend to eat the center of the watermelon, the red part. But you know, it has been analyzed that in the watermelon, the rind has certain ingredients similar to the Viagra.
Yeah.
So when you actually, people who do juicing, where you juice the entire fruit, that's where you get the benefits of it. It's like a potato. The nutrients of the potato is in the skin.
Okay. No, that fruit, the skin is very hard, especially when they're big.
Well, the thing is, it's very popular in Eastern Asian countries like Thailand. And sometimes when they bring it here, it's very hard, and you wouldn't want to eat those. The fresher ones is very softer.
Oh, okay.
So then you know, if you by touch, you can know if this is right to buy or not.
You see, now I'm learning something, because the ones I had today
It's very hard.
were very soft. In
Soft,
fact,
okay.
The first time I had them, it was very, very hard.
Right.
So the ones that were fresh, actually, then you say, okay, makes sense. No, but you know, it's amazing, because you know, food is so important, but it's becoming really expensive for a lot of people to really eat well. You know, and sometimes we eat more than we're supposed to.
Yeah. That's the other thing too.
And I'm glad that you all are here to help with the Lions Health and Wellness Fair, because you know, in the last few years we have a lot of people on the island that are very ill, you know, with all kinds of illness. Any illness you can think about now in the world, it's here in St. Martin too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. That is one thing about the health. It is really important. And I'm always emphasize about the enzyme is that it will clean the environment. It is seriously.
Which is important.
Which is important. You see, like people living in the salt pond, a lot of them they get sick by it because of the environment. You inhale a lot of toxins.
Oh,
you know?
okay.
And but it's just like we don't have so much that we can clean the whole of the salt pond. You know, I'm hoping that I wish I could do that. So, the enzyme.
Yeah. So now you all will have the foot massage.
We have the foot massage. We'll have like over 6 person giving foot massages, and then we'll have the lady will be demonstrating the scanner, so people can test the antioxidant levels. That part of it is a 30-minute scan, so the whole process shouldn't take me more than about 3 to 5 minutes.
To scan
you scan the palm of your hand, will take you 30 seconds, and then they have it recorded, and then you give your score.
Do they give you anything on black and white to walk with to keep you?
Yeah, we'll give you take a note of your score.
Yeah.
And the person will have it recorded in a database via your email, so it is there, so that when next, let's say if you do supplementation and you come back the next time, you will be able to compare it. And that's the crucial thing of it. You have to have something to compare with. So our commissioner, Sandra Chung, she will eventually have her own scanner here on the island.
Oh, okay, that's
right?
good.
So then they will go to her and can do a scan and measure your level. And this is very interesting.
So now what if you go and your level is very, very low? Should you be concerned?
Of course, because you know, once your antioxidant levels is low, that means your immune system is low, and that means you can have all sort of complications. You know, from the cold, you know, when we talk of Zika, it's your immune system. Everything is related to the immune system.
Yeah.
So you actually, it gives you a gauge to tell you, okay, because there are people, especially people who are in their, say, mid-50s, who have lived a healthy lifestyle, you know, eating the right foods and what have you, and they probably doing exercises, what have you. But they can't monitor their antioxidant levels. And this is one way for them to know, look, I think I am okay, but I'm not really okay.
So when you get the reading, right,
Right.
then you can go and eat the right food.
Well, what happened is the company that has the introduces is called Pharmanex.
Okay.
And they now you have to go and research on Pharmanex because there are so many companies with different products. Now you want to deal with a reliable company. So it's like somebody was once saying, if you had a Volkswagen and a Ferrari and you want to go into a race, which one would you choose? It's pretty obvious. But at the same time, if you want to select the Ferrari, you have to know how to handle the vehicle.
Yeah.
So the same thing, if you want, Pharmanex is, you can go and research it. You know, multi-level marketing companies started many years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And when they first started, they had like over 60,000. In the last couple of years, it would dwindle down to about 300.
So what is Pharmanex? Is it a...
Pharmanex is a multi-level marketing company. It's the biggest drug, one of the biggest drug company in the world.
They sell...
They have been constantly doing research. But what is important with, once into nutrition, you have to look at the companies who are on the advisory board.
So they sell nutrition?
Yeah, nutrition, both inside and outside.
So
the
then...
body,
okay.
the skin,
Yeah.
and their main company, the parent company is called New Skin.
So they sell supplements and so forth?
That's right. Nutrition for inside the body and outside the body, right? And so they have different divisions like Pharmanex. They have a company called LifeGen.
Where's this company from?
It's an American company. It's over 30 years. It's listed on the as one of the top 10 producers, multi-level marketing company. They make over $1 billion a year.
Okay.
But they use most of their money to do research. Huh?
Right. The thing is, you have to look at it to see who are the people in the advisory board. They have people, they have like over 75 PhD scientists, people who are, for example, like Lester Parker, who is the father of antioxidant. He is on their board. Mr. Joe Chang, who is the one who, he was involved, he developed some medication for when you're doing the contraceptive pills.
Oh.
So they have so many different people, and they're constantly innovation. Today, the name of the game is innovation. You have to have the science together that is carrying forth your product. It comes like Apple, you know. In the days of Apple, when you had Nokia, they're no longer there. BlackBerry no longer there. But Apple is still there because of innovation.
Apple was almost dead too, and then it recovered. You know, Apple was doing so bad
when Steve Jobs came
15 years ago.
Yeah.
At one point, everyone gave up on Apple. The reason I can tell you that because I'm a big Apple fan. I've been buying Apple computers since 1990, which was 26 years ago. So I know the history of that company. So sometimes it's not good to give up on something because you can see what to change the world out.
Right. Innovation is the key today, you know, and this is the thing with the company New Skin and the products they come out with.
All right, so then you have the scanner for the palm.
Right.
You have the
foot massage.
What else? You have anything else?
Yeah, we have one, another one from the New Skin, the Galvanic Spa.
What's that?
They call it Galvanic Spa.
Galvanic Spa?
You're right. You know, especially for the ladies, men too, right? It relates to the skin. And the skin can not only be the face, but the entire body. But the focus on this is on the skin, where there will be live demonstrations that normally people, they will go to a spa to get treatment for their face, facial and so on, right? It's pretty expensive. The Galvanic Spa is a device. You can do the same thing at home. So you will have the live demonstration where you'll have a model and you'll see, they'll do it half of the skin, the face, before and after. So you'll see the actual changes in about 15, 20 minutes.
Really?
So this is where, you know, quite a few ladies get different treatment on the island in different salons because technology today is way, way ahead.
I know. Right.
But we looking at emphasizing on the convenience of it and the ease that you don't have to, you can do all of this in the privacy of your home.
And they'll have to buy the
machine.
Machine?
Right. And what is interesting at the fair, there is a lead up afterwards. On the Tuesday afterwards, we are doing a public session where people can come in a more private environment where they can see more on the scanner.
On the Tuesday, where will that
Tuesday
be?
night.
This will be at the Suu Kyi Foundation on L.B. Scott Road.
Oh, okay.
Right? And they can ask all their questions. It's from 7 to 9
p.m.
All right. So you have a whole lot of things planned for this Saturday.
Yeah, because we have Saturday, we might not be able to serve everybody.
Right.
Some people is at work, some people is cannot come at that day, so we have an extra day because we specially got this lady from Canada to come, and so we might make use to her time while she's here.
But how are you going to be able to handle this?
We have a lot of volunteers.
we harnessing all our volunteers to come and assist us.
I'm telling you because I'm expecting thousands of people to be there Saturday.
Well, hopefully we'll have a better turnout this year. And let me emphasize, I'm only Suu Kyi, but there are so many other organizations in healthcare. There are a lot of stakeholders and offering a lot of information. So this is where we encourage the public to come out because there are a lot of things, and it's all free.
But this coming Saturday is the Lions Health and Wellness Fair. It starts, what time it starts on Saturday?
After the public from 9 in the morning till 4 p.m.
And that will be at the Festival Village, right?
Festival Village, that's correct.
Now, during the break, you all told me that you're going to have vegetarian food there too?
Yes, we'll have samplings of vegetarian snacks and drinks.
Oh, okay.
And this is going to be supplied by the Cake House.
When you say vegetarian, so there's no meat?
No meat.
Okay.
Yeah, one of
But
the,
very tasty, huh?
Yeah, I love it.
one of the theories that the Suu Kyi would like to spread is to change people the eating habit. Try not to eat meat.
Oh, okay. The meat is not good to eat, right?
Yes, in a sense, yes.
Because I noticed, if you look at people that eat a good vegetarian diet, and you compare the person who's eating a huge amount of beef and pork and so forth, you can see the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, you can see the difference.
It's all a question of lifestyle changes and choices. And one of the things I always say, in the Caribbean.
But you've been a politician now. You're being modest. But really, I mean, honestly speaking, eating too much meat isn't really good for you, right?
I was eating meat before until I became a vegetarian. I mean, kind of vegetarian. I call it fish-getarian because I eat fish.
I eat fish too.
So I became one since 2002 because of an illness that I have. And I met a lady from Jamaica. She is, she do herbs. She's a Jamaican lady. She was a nurse, but she found out that herbs help people health better than the medicine. That's why she put herself into a herbalist. Not the Chinese herbalist, but then you do a lot of herbs. Not only grow in China, but they are all over the world. So she researched all the herbs, and then she give you like something as a supplement to take when you have an illness. That happened to me, that I had a problem, and she healed. She got me healed, and then she told me to, we shouldn't eat meat.
So, and I noticed you mentioned that you still eat fish, you said, right?
Yes.
And do you eat chicken?
No.
Okay. What about you?
Well, one of the things I always say, to talk about vegetarian cooking, eating vegetables is one thing, but coming from a Caribbean background, it's not an easy transition to make. And one of the things I always say before, is like telling the guy to stop smoking. If you tell him to give up the cigarettes, you have to tell him what to replace it with, right? So if I'm going to stop eating meat, you have to tell me what I'm going to replace it with. Not just tell me eat vegetables. The thing is, in our Caribbean background, we need to educate ourselves more how to prepare and cook vegetarian food.
Yeah.
And what is interesting that we have recently, you see, we have Taste of St. Martin, culinary cooks. But what I would like to see, encouraging people to have competitions in vegetarian cooking.
That'd be good.
Right? Because in the culinary diversity in cooking, we have a lot of different vegetables, a variety of cross-section. And we have skilled people. You know, we could talk about the grandparents and all these people who can cook, right? And this would be very interesting if we can promote a sort of culinary vegetarian competition to teach parents and the future generations. And this way we can say yes. You know, it's one thing to say they eat a Johnny cake, you know, but what is it beyond that?
But
you know?
Roger, there are vegetarian pate, vegetarian beef or turkey. They just use a vegetable-based product to make all this like a meat that you could eat.
No, what I'm saying is when we don't have a presentation, like, you know, you go to have a lunch or a dinner and there's a wide buffet. I've yet to go and see, because when I was in Thailand, there are restaurants where you go to vegetarian restaurants and you would see at least 20 items presented. And it changes every day.
But Thailand is amazing when it comes to the food there.
No, but it's the same thing. It is
I've been reading about it.
No, it's the same thing. We have access to endless vegetables here.
Yeah.
But it's how we present it, and this is where we have to be creative, innovative, to teach our future generations about eating well.
But you know, what you're saying is true, because if you look at the South Asian foods, you know, Vietnam, Thailand, you name it, it's incredible how they eat. I love the soups and all the different things that you really can't get here sometimes.
I wouldn't say we can't get here. Imagine, look, the Chinese influence you're eating here, right? You go to eat satay potato or
that's
fried chicken.
There.
No, what I'm saying is, it's the same innovation. You could present it in a vegetarian format.
Okay, good. But we need that.
That is what I'm saying. So this is to encourage the chefs here to create that incentive.
Yeah, but how many people would like to become a vegetarian chef? That's another thing, you know. We don't really have so many vegetarian restaurants here.
Yeah.
We have like maybe Top Carrot, and now she's even selling chicken in it too.
Yeah.
Well,
so it's difficult. It's a cultural thing that makes it difficult.
Yes. It's like the Caribbean people, like they love the meat and
but they are very. I mean, when you look at Ital Shack, there are people here on this island who are promoting vegetarian and producing fantastic food.
Yeah, his food is
right. And there's another gentleman, Denisio Wyatt, and fantastic food.
It's still on a small scale.
Yeah, but
it shows you that there is a tremendous there's a need.
But do you all think that people realize what's happening? Because when you look at the Caribbean region, the other day I was watching the show, and there was this doctor, I think from Trinidad, was speaking about what the diet of the Caribbean people is doing to them. It's literally killing us.
Yeah.
And we need to change the way we eat. So what you're saying probably is right. Maybe we need to focus
so everybody
more.
talks about Trinidad. I mean, people who have gone to Trinidad will tell you the vegetarian food they have, the repertoire, the choices you have, tremendous. So it is there.
And so all the Trinidad people we have here, they should try to introduce it here.
Well, I don't want to single out Trinidadians, but the whole idea is to create this awareness,
just
right?
put your leg, don't worry.
But in St. Martin, we have fantastic cooks. They are fantastic
But they
cooks.
got to be retrained. Some have to be retrained.
Right, and this is where, you know, we talk about we in the tourism business.
Yeah.
Imagine we have something like that the tourists can come. They have all that free food they get on the ship, and now they could come to a place like St. Martin and have this unique vegetarian selection of food. I mean, that will single us out.
Sounds great.
Yeah, but then, you know, even Cake House has, you can buy your lunch there, the vegetarian food
right,
there. The price is very reasonable, very, very reasonable, and it tastes really good.
So I guess it's going to be difficult changing people's mind to...
Yeah.
Well, once you give them choices, this is the thing, you know, you have choices, but if your choices are limited, you know, that's it.
I remember there was a guest who came to the Chinese New Year celebration tea party in the Chuchi Foundation, because we only serve vegetarian food. One of the dishes was a sausage, right? This guy, he only eats meat. So he didn't know when we gave him a sausage. He said, "Oh, that's nice. That tastes really good." He didn't know that was not meat. What's the difference?
You know, it's interesting because I was on the Oasis of the Seas for the maiden voyage.
Right.
And that was 6 years ago. And the thing is that I went one morning to the restaurant for breakfast, and I like to watch and see what people eating. And most of the Europeans and Americans ate one way, and I looked at, there was some Asians, some Japanese, and so on the ship, and they were eating a lot different than everyone else. But the kind of food that the Japanese and Asians were eating was a much more healthier food. That's just to show you again the cultural differences in people and in food sometimes. And you look at St. Martin now, it makes it extremely difficult because we want our dumpling and our salt pork and this and that, which is not good for us.
You know that the Japanese, they live very long.
Yeah.
The lifespan. But apart from the Fujikuma, what do you call it, the nuclear the disaster that they had a couple of years ago, that the Japanese, their lifestyle is really different. They don't eat meat that much too.
So now that you all are members of the Tai Chi Foundation, Chi Foundation, right?
Yeah.
And is there any teachings in terms of how you should take care of your body, what you should put in, how you should eat? Is that a...
They encourage people to eat vegetarian, of course.
Okay.
And if you like to have the vegetarian, I remember last year when we were in the Lions Fair, we actually give out the the recipe for cooking vegetarian.
Really?
People really interested to know they can take some recipes.
You're gonna do that this year too?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good.
One thing with the sushi, we like to emphasize, nutrition is very important, and the food that you eat, we like to say that's the second food. The food that you actually put in your mouth. That's your second food. So it leaves the question, you say, well, then what is the first food? The first food is actually what you put
in your brain,
in your hair, right? So because, the mind is what's supposed to control the body. So it's very important what we put here. And then it will be a guideline for what we put in here.
So you're also into the vegetarian?
I am not a complete vegetarian. It's a process for me, right? But there's a consciousness. This is the thing. You have to have a consciousness. So there are certain meats I try to keep away from now, like pork, And what I would do is, if I did eat some chicken, I would supplement it with vegetables. So there's a transition. Because like I told you before, giving up something, you have to replace it with something. So there is a process, and I'm seeing the benefits of it.
The other day I was at Carrefour as a
Right, Carrefour, yeah.
And I saw something I always wanted to eat for the first time. You ever heard of the Iberian pig from
Oh,
Spain?
yes. Oh, I can tell you stories on that.
Well, I tell you, when I saw it, I went crazy, man. Yeah. I had about 2 servings of that. It's incredible. I normally don't eat pork, but I had to try it, and it's great.
You know the history on that?
Yeah, I'm very familiar with it, but I never had it.
Yeah,
my plan was to fly to Spain to have it. I don't have to go to Spain anymore.
That's right. It is allegedly to be nutritional, actually.
Yeah. And the pigs are raised on the open, they're well taken care of. But, so you've had it?
No, I haven't had it. I was intrigued. Actually, I had gone to a supermarket on the French side to source it. And at that time, they ran out of it. Well, because I was very curious, because they said the fat is actually healthy for you.
Oh, it tastes great.
Right? It's not only tastes good, but it's healthy. So I was very curious. Yeah.
No, I mean, and amazing.
Very cool.
I ate it, and I had the taste in my mouth for hours later still. It's just incredible.
So how can you become a vegetarian? I was in Spain. They were offering me all this pork.
You didn't eat it?
No.
Oh, come on.
My husband loved it. Yeah, my husband loved it.
That's great.
But this is where we have to be careful. When we eat things, are we controlled by the senses? There's the smell, the taste,
I saw it in the internet about this guy. He was upset with his roommate. Always take away his food in the fridge, right? So what he did one day, he cut up a piece of cardboard, cut it like a piece of a meat, and he seasoned it up, and he put, seasoned it up with seasonings, and put some breadcrumb on the top, and he fried, and then he left the food in the fridge, and then he left that for his friend. So you can imagine, right now there's a company in the States, they will do vegetarian food, and they are selling the seasonings. Really? The main thing when you're eating, the main thing when you are eating, it's about seasoning. It's the taste. It's not really the meat that matter. They give you some samples that you use that, and I think they also have the vegetarian-based product that's like a meat, kind of like a little bit tough, not like the vegetable is soft. So it's kind of tough, and then you can season it up like you can eat a piece of steak or pork or chicken or fish. There is a website that I have to go into it. Someone told me about it. But I believe that some people ask me, do you miss any of the meat? I said, no. For me, at the beginning, it was a bit difficult, but I'm so happy
After
that
a while, you don't
because
miss
I
it
feel
anymore.
much more healthy.
Yeah, you feel better. It's just,
I don't get sick so often.
Yeah.
Like before, I used to, every time when the change of time, I always get coughing, and it stops completely.
I think one of the motivation to heading in that direction is as people get older and they start to get different complications. And then you've been informed that, is it related to certain things? So now we have to really think and make choices and say, look, do I continue or do I make the change?
But I heard a doctor said the other day that we take good care of our car. We make sure we put in the right fuels and everything else.
Yeah.
We have to do the same thing with our body.
Exactly.
That's right. If you're driving a high-end vehicle, you don't put diesel in a gasoline engine,
Exactly.
for example, to get the optimum performance.
So on Saturday, you'll have all of the different, the foot massage, the scan, and
spa, the galvanic
and
spa.
everything is free, right?
Everything is free.
So are you going to come and visit us?
Yeah, I'm going to stop by. I really want to see it. I am
See,
really
we already
impressed.
got an audience. I mean, one of the participants to come and visit us.
And I think it's great what you all are doing because too often, we live very busy lives.
Oh, yeah.
I spend a lot of my time helping people, and I get a kind of satisfaction from it. It
Yes.
helps. So I understand what you were saying earlier when you said what it
Giving.
means
Giving
to
and
help.
receiving, yeah.
Yes, I prefer to be giving than to be receiving.
Yes,
And I think,
exactly.
and that's what I admire about the organization that you all are members of.
And the thing about coming to the fair, as I told Mr. Bolly Haverton from the Lions, it's not about just yourself coming, because if you're a husband or a wife, bring your wife, bring your companion,
Bring the
bring
whole
your
family.
kids, bring your family.
And bring
it's
your
a whole
friends.
education
Yeah.
process,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's important.
And then to see what is in the community. The whole idea is everybody is given towards the community. And this is the important thing.
This Saturday is a Lions Health and Wellness Fair in St. Martin at the Festival Village. And it's from 9 a.m. to
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Yeah.
And you all will be there giving all. I know a lot of people, I heard from Mr. Haverton that most people love to come out for that massage.
Oh, yeah?
Is that true?
That's nice. Yeah,
that here the
last
other
year,
night.
ooh.
Last year we had to turn away people because we have they stop at 4 o'clock and they dismantle everything. So we actually have to stop like 3:30, So we encourage people to come out early and get a massage because sometimes you come and you want to get this, and the other booths are very interesting too. So you need to spend a lot of time, seeing what the other.
Yeah, last year we only had how many chairs? About 2 chairs only, right? 2 foot massage chair or 3.
No, we had several more. Yeah.
So this year,
No, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then this year we have more.
so this year you're going to have a lot more.
Yeah, plus
yeah.
the other services. So this
The
will be
other
encouraging
versus,
people to
it
come
will
out.
be
Yeah.
it will be interesting to see that the crowd going to be there.
Yeah.
What I'd like to emphasize to we having this lecture to the public on the Tuesday thereafter at the Suchi Foundation.
And where is it located?
At the Suchi Foundation, it's on LB Scott Road. It's right next to the ballpark, just after you pass Cake House.
Oh, okay.
You'll see there, and it's from 7 to 9 p.m. It's an information session where you can come in and get all the information, demonstration with the scanner and the galvanic spa, and you can ask your questions, Q&A.
Well, it's good because that way you get to know about your body and what you need to do, right? And these scanners are pretty accurate, you said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Very accurate, and that's why I encourage people, because we have the internet technology now. You can go and do your research on the subject matter, just the S3 biophotonic scanner, and you'll see all the information, all the different videos, and can answer all your questions about it. The innovation, the technology behind this is something that is there since the 1930s.
And the person that's coming from Canada, this is a person that will be doing the scan, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that is a applying person who is involved with the product. And you can become a distributor of the product, like any multi-level marketing. So she is a distributor, and she has a scanner, and she will be demonstrating it and giving you all the information, how you could become a distributor, how you can get involved with the products. But
if you don't like to be the distributor, you can always buy the product from Cake House or from Chuchi, you know, members of the Chuchi.
The most important thing is we want people to be scanned so they know what is their antioxidant level, because most people, they don't know. Because if you had to go and do a test for antioxidant, it's a much more complicated test.
You take a blood test, probably, right?
It's not even as accurate as this one.
Even the blood test, the blood test. In fact, the Diabetes Foundation is doing a test. It's called a serum test for hemoglobin, which is much, much more accurate than the standard blood test. As I mentioned before, the blood test is only at that particular moment of the day. It can change 5 hours thereafter. All depends on what you eat. Right? So this is a much more accurate test with the carotenoids of the skin.
Because I know that there's a blood test that measure the blood over a period of 2 to 3 months.
That is the one. It's for 3 months. That's the I think the AS1G. It's a serum test.
So
and they're doing that with the Diabetes Foundation also, so people can do that test free too.
Right. Well, I guess there's a lot of things happening this Saturday at the Festival Village, and the Lions Health and Wellness Fair is all free, right?
Yes.
So let me just emphasize, it's the Lions Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness. It's in honor of Mr. Rudy Hoover, who was the Lions member for many, many years.
Right. And so, again, in closing, we're going to go first with you, and then with Mr. Steeman. Anything you want to add in closing?
Yes. I am encouraging the public to come out and to get tested, because it's the first time this piece of equipment is there. And primarily to see what is your antioxidant level, to get an idea so you know where you stand and how you can progress by doing the follow-up lectures on supplementation.
Right.
Plus the other benefits we have with the foot massage and the what have you.
All right. So thank you very much. And Mrs. Steeman?
Yeah, I want to encourage people to come to this fair also, you know, to see how healthy you are. And it doesn't matter on how much money you made, you can't go with it in your coffin. So it's best that you have a healthy life. And if you are not healthy, even you have a lot of money, you're sick, then you can't enjoy it, right? When you have a healthy life, you can enjoy a lot of things.
And you can't ask anyone to take your illness for you.
Yeah, exactly. Even though you have $1 million, you cannot give it to somebody or ask somebody to take it away from you, correct?
So it's important to be healthy.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you both for coming in and wish you all much success. And I hope that thousands of people will stop by this Saturday from 9 to 4 p.m. at the Lions Club Rudy Hoover Health and Wellness Fair, right?
Right.
At the
Festival Village.
Festival Village. All right.
And thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you all for being here. And that's
See you there.
All right. We're there. All right. And that's it for now. I'll see you next time. Till then, good night. Take care. Bye.